And that'll take us over to Mr. Talbert. I guess you're up for the 3-minute piece to give us some facts, information about your department.
30 minutes. Oh, you said 3
Yeah,
minutes.
3.
Mayor and Council, this will be a report from Administrative Services, which includes Economic Development, what used to be Redevelopment, now called the Successor Agency, the Housing Authority, Human Resource Department, and Risk. I would be probably overly optimistic if I declared the recession over. However, I can tell you that Kip and Joanne have been exceptionally busy in their departments, helping Corona do what has become typical for Corona and kind of head out of the recession much ahead of the rest of the Inland Empire. To kind of give you a quick update of what's been approved in recent times, Trammell Crow has been recently approved for 550,000 square feet in 4 buildings at Magnolia and 6th Street. Sky Park is finishing up 185,000 square feet. On Alcoa and Rincon, they have a tenant in hand that they're working through the details on that will bring to Corona close to 200 jobs. A project that doesn't have a formal name, but we kind of refer to it as Palisades, which is a 55,000 square foot industrial building, some smaller office industrial next to that, along with some apartments at the other end of the property. Harrington Village, which is Harrington and Lincoln, which is 200 multifamily units. Citrus Circle, which is 61 multifamily, all affordable on Buena Vista. Rexco has some multifamily 125 units going on at Dos Lagos. They're kind of scrubbing and preparing for grading now. Villages at Verona was recently approved with 348 multifamily units. West Living, which is 100 assisted living units at Tabor in California. The 200 plus apartments at Palisades and Surface. Artisan Phase 1 is done. You can see it. People are moving in ahead of schedule. Artisan Phase 2, we're in the final rounds of completing some document updates, and they're starting the planning process. As you heard and approved tonight, Texas Roadhouse, 10,400 square feet. So what does that come to? About pushing up against 1 million square feet of new industrial properties and expansions of different varieties, and multifamily units bordering around 1,400 units when complete. That is far and away ahead of the Inland Empire, as I'm always talking about, residential sales for existing homes off the charts, short on inventory. So all things are moving in the right direction in that area. Corporate expansion and relocation, which is something we're always excited about because when the corporate headquarters come here, jobs usually follow. Sterno Candle Lamp Company, it's a 119-year-old company, recently relocated to Corona near Sam's Club on the other end of town. Monster Energy, as you probably know and have read, they own 2 buildings in Corona now. Whether they'll keep both or just one, we don't know, but currently they own 2 Class A office buildings at McKinley in the 91, going through TI processes now. Monster Energy also took another 360,000 square feet for industrial, so that's 2 industrial warehouse functions they have going in the city of Corona. By all accounts, their company is just continuing to grow and scream. Corporate expansions, people were discussing now trying to put them into new, bigger buildings, which we're actually short on, less than 4% vacancy in Corona, include North American Pet Products, Vantage Vehicle, an all-green car manufacturer here in Corona, Downs Energy, Miguel's corporate office and commissary. Relocation efforts due to the 91 expansion. Folks that we're kind of working with along with the 91 team is Techstar Motors, Kane & Associates, Advanced Business Services, Quality Composite Engineering, Uncle Bud's Automotive Museum, and Quality West Wing. Those are important because we do not want them to leave. You know, it's not just about attracting new ones, it's keeping the ones we already have. Some newer resurrected community programs that are now running through Administrative Services or the Successor Agency. We have put back into place the HIP program, which is a home improvement repair program for low-income and very low-income families. We've already been able to help 9 families, very low-income actually, with up to $25,000 per property. We were able to recently use NSP monies to acquire a 12-unit apartment building on 5th Street that by this summer should be underway and under contract for a full remodel to be used as transitional housing. As you learned from Joanne's workshop this week, that's a really important component of our housing element. We will be able to bring that to the table. We have been investing a lot of money in Historic Civic Center using CDBG monies. Federal monies. We've completed our Phase 1 remediation and floor restoration. Phase 2 of the design for HVAC systems are well underway. And the final phase will actually be more investment to bring each space up to and make it ready for leasing. Finally, successor agency activities related to AB 26 and AB 1484. We continue to hold oversight and successor agency board meetings. We've administered and updated and actually had adopted our budget through December of 2013. We've had our ROPS approved from the Department of Finance through 2013. We're one of the few cities who are ahead of schedule who have our due diligence review of agency funds audited. That audit was conducted by Lance Soul and Lungard. It was accepted, and DOF has concurred with it. We have had accepted in concurrence our RPTTF funding sources. So we're in sync and moving very quickly with DOF. We're probably one of their model children. We're not fighting with them too much. In fact, we utilize their meet and confer process, which generally speaking doesn't go well for cities. We actually prevailed and were able to secure and favorably resolve a city loan repayment schedule that they agreed with us on. Finally, from human resources standpoint, we've completed the adoption and integration of our new TPA, third-party administrator, which helps us help our employees who've been hurt on the job return to the workplace more quickly, which saves us money and saves them wear and tear on their bodies. Going very well. They all seem to be happy. Finally, we've implemented some new software in HR that's running on the NeoGov cloud platform, which helps us do recruitments more quickly, and it puts the jobs out in a much shorter amount of time and helps us in terms of automation, in terms of screening, because we have a lot of applicants that come in this job market. And that is about 3 minutes, I think.
Well, and I do want to mention that I know that you're overseeing a couple of different departments, but it just points out how much is going on in the city. When Julie spoke previously and then Mark last time, every department is just so busy doing great things, and I appreciate each time, and I know we all do, each time you share these things that people don't normally hear about. And so I thank you this evening and look forward to the items coming up in the future.